Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Jared at Soundcheck Studios, and we're on the cusp of something very exciting. I've been talking about this for months, if not years, trying to get a podcast together, focusing on what happens here at Soundcheck Studios. I'm lucky enough to be here quite often. I see all kinds of musicians and fun folks of personality in and out. We have all kinds of things going on around here that people need to know about, so I figured we'd put everything together on video because nobody just listens to podcasts anymore, right? So here we are. Welcome to Soundcheck in 20. A complete recap of everything that happened last week at Soundcheck Studios and a look ahead to what's going on next week at Soundcheck Studios. We picked a great time to start. We had a lot of cool things happen last week. We have a lot of awesome things on the cusp coming in next week. So I appreciate everybody checking the thing out, and hopefully we can grow into something bigger in the future. Breaking down the fourth wall here, there's going to be a lot of changes, I think, kind of learning as I go along. Next time, maybe I'll get a haircut and look a little more presentable. We're going to have guests. I'm hoping that the Good Trees River Band will drop in and we can ask them a couple questions at some point. That'd be really cool because they are playing tonight. What's today? The 26th? October 26th? Tuesday the 26th? I might have that wrong, but yeah. So hopefully I can get this out in time because we're getting a storm and we need people to know that this is going to be the place to be to hunker down. So let's get started. So going back to last week, Tuesday, the New Motif were here on the 19th of October. It was Dan's birthday week, so there was a little extra energy in the room. Not as if there's any energy that can be squeezed into a New Motif show, because it's already there. They were solid as always. It's funny, whenever they play, and I've actually been with the New Motif since day one, literally, and they never cease to amaze me. Every time they play, 10 minutes into it, I look at somebody. Last time it was Pap, you can ask him. And I said, man, these guys are good. And it's like, we know how good they are, but you really can't, it blows your mind every time. The New Motif, they're a family band. They've been here since the beginning of Soundcheck. They did a lot of live streams when we were shut down for COVID. Solid guys. They're definitely part of the family here, and we're always excited when they come. They have an album, Live from the Lobby, available now. It was a recording from January 10th here at Soundcheck Studios. You can get that on their website, thenewmotif.com, or wherever streaming is available. So that was a New Motif show. On Thursday, the 21st of October, we had Marcus Razak. Razak? I looked it up, and I can't figure it out because everybody, maybe I should have asked him. That's another thing that I need to learn. I need a pad to write things down. Ask Marcus Razak how to pronounce his name. He's known for jazz-style improv and sit-ins. He's sat in with tons of huge names, Humphreys McGee, members of the Zappa Band, Bill Evans, Dopapod, Disco Biscuits, STS9, Lettuce. He has so many bands on his roster. He's really kind of been with everybody. I hope he gets tested. Megadeth, of all people. Again, I really wish I had the opportunity to do this last week because I would have asked Marcus about his experience with Megadeth. He's a Berkeley grad, so he knows his stuff. Very smart, very intelligent playing. We were lucky enough to have Corey Scheckman from the New Motif, and Carter Eyes and Matt Dolliver of Swimmer, and Chris D'Angelis of Kung Fu graced the stage with Marcus on Thursday. It was a crazy show. Very, very high intensity, very loud, very just sound-filled the room. It was a great, full, rich sound, full of great improv, off-the-cuff stuff, musical conversations. It was really cool. Dan Kelly was in the house. It was his birthday on that day on Thursday. So he brought that energy, too, to the stage. He sat in, played a couple of tunes. It was a really cool show. Marcus Razak here at Soundcheck. Friday, on the 22nd, we had Brown Eyed Women, which is a really, really cool show. It's no secret, Grateful Dead cover bands is kind of our thing here at Soundcheck. That's what we do. We're going to talk about Playing Dead in a little while. They're here every Wednesday, but we'll stick a pin in that for now. So Brown Eyed Women, all-female tribute to the Grateful Dead. These women are from all over the East Coast, from Georgia, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Massachusetts. They're on an East Coast tour. In fact, they played the Brooklyn Bowl last Sunday, the 24th. Really, really cool. It was a great performance. The drummer, singer, Denise Parent, was amazing. Really took control of the stage and really knew her stuff. The lead vocalist, Jill Simmons, had an amazing voice. You could tell she had some kind of operatic kind of background. It was a really, really cool voice, and it was really awesome to hear the Dead tunes from the perspective of the female persona. Very, very cool. It was a different crowd from the normal Grateful Dead crowd. We have, like I said, we have tons of Grateful Dead presence here, and a lot of it is the same awesome, awesome crowd. But Brown Eyed Women brought in a completely different crowd, so it's great if we can kind of meld those two together. Maybe Wednesdays for Playing Dead. Draw the Line was here on Saturday, and we always anticipate a good time for Draw the Line. Typically, we do jam bands here. When Draw the Line comes, it just brings in a kind of a fresh face, just a straight-up rock and roll kind of attitude, and we always look forward to it. They go all out. Draw the Line is more than a cover band. They're a tribute band. They look the part. The singer, actually, Neil Burns, won a Steven Tyler lookalike contest on WAAF back in the 90s. And it's funny because you look at him on stage, and he looks just like Steven Tyler. He does the mannerisms, the moves, and everything. And I'm sorry, Neil, if you're listening. But then you turn the lights up, and Neil Burns looks like Carrot Top. I'm sorry, I don't. Maybe we can get like a photo comparison so you can see, because he really does. He could be like a Carrot Top impersonator, like on the weekends, and do this Aerosmith tribute band during the week. So he did the singer Neil Burns did an interview with AAF. AAF's Nick Carter, those who are my age and used to listen to AAF back in the day, definitely know who Nick Carter is. I'm sorry, no, it wasn't Neil Burns. It was Steven Tyler. And Steven Tyler remarked on Draw the Line that they are Aerosmith. He said he's seen Draw the Line. They're one of the best, if not the best, Aerosmith cover band. So they have a lot of accolades behind them. Of course, when they play Aerosmith, you wonder what they're going to play. These days, you hope it's not going to be all the Armageddon movie and the Crazy and all that stuff. But they played a lot of classics. Of course, Mama Kin, Back in the Saddle, Last Child. They did Big 10-inch, which I was super psyched about. Seasons of Wither is kind of a deep track that I love, that they nailed. Of course, Dream On started the encore. The Train Kept A-Rollin'. Then they played Mother Popcorn, which I didn't know Aerosmith covered. I guess Aerosmith's known for covering James Brown's Mother Popcorn, and they did it well. They had to do it on sax. It was very, very good. They did the newer stuff. They did Crying and Janie, Love in an Elevator, and all that. They played Stop Messin' Around, which is on Honkin' on Bobo, which is an awesome album. Those of you who kind of turned away from Aerosmith after the permanent vacation phase might want to check out Honkin' on Bobo. It's all blues. Aerosmith played a bunch of blues covers. It was actually recorded to complete a contract that they wanted to get out of because they were breaking up. So they just got together. Actually, I don't think they got together. I think they might have recorded it all in separate studios, but just blues classics, and they shred. Honkin' on Bobo from Aerosmith. Check that out. But Draw the Line, great show. It was funny because they signed autographs at the merch tent after, and people stood in line and got their photos taken. It's like, they're big. This band is big. And they'll be back, so we'll let you know when Draw the Line comes back. Sunday night, the 24th, we were lucky enough to have the Jerry Sass Unoffended podcast. This was super cool. I didn't know how it was going to turn out. I didn't know what was going to happen. And, the stage was set up really cool. The lights were down, and there were 4 mics on stage, and this guy, Jerry, and his buddies, a bunch of Halifax, Duxbury guys, good guys, awesome, fun guys, really thick, like Boston street tough accents, so there was a lot of fucking this and fucking that guy, and always a good time with these guys. Storytellers, storytellers from the start. Some local people on the verge of like being comics, doing open mics, And he just had a revolving kind of stage of people come up and talk. And there were probably 20, 30 people here. And you could tell that they were all familiar with each other. They were all kind of friends. And you almost envy the connection that they have, in the little community that they built around the podcast, which can be found on Apple Podcasts, by the way. It's like a legit podcast. It's it's quite good. In fact, at the beginning, one of the guys comes in and he goes, "Hey, guy, can I get a fucking beer?" And I'm like, "Yeah, can you be more fucking specific?" And then I thought I made a remark about how it would be cool if you made like a Boston-based beer company called Fakin, right? Fahkin. Can I get a fucking IPA? Fucking yeah, guy. Right? A fucking light? Nah, I don't want an IPA, guy. Get me a fucking light. All right. Anyway, Jerry Sass, Unoffended Podcast. You can find the live podcast from here at Soundcheck Studios on Apple Podcasts. Tonight, we're excited to host the Good Trees River Band. We're actually waiting for them to walk in the door. It'd be great if I can just catch them like right off guard and be like, "Hey guys, how about an interview?" Because I'm not prepared for it either, but it'll be super fun. So doors at 7, music starts at 8. Tickets are $10. They are still available. We have a roof and we have walls, so the weather will not affect us. Don't worry about the hurricane or the nor'easter or whatever we're getting. And if we do get like locked in, like with no power, like what a cooler place to be than Soundcheck Studios. We'll make it fun. So come down, check out the Good Trees River Band, and have your mind blown by this 5-piece, jazzy, funky, soul, psych rock band. They're a sick band. Good Trees, another family band. They rehearse here regularly. We're lucky enough to hear them rehearse, and they just sound like really cool. They blend classic 60s psychedelic rock with newer jammy funk. They're like a dangerous jam band, if that exists. There's a lot of personality. It's a really, really fun band. We love the guys. We can't wait to have them. And we would love to have a great crowd to welcome them. So tonight, Tuesday, the 26th of October, Good Trees River Band, get down here. They're coming off of, they were supposed to play the Fete Music Hall in Providence, which is an awesome venue, and there was a cancellation, so we were super bummed about that, but we're super psyched to be able to have him here. So come down, Good Trees River Band. You can get tickets online. You can get tickets at the door, $10. Come show your support. Coming up tomorrow, Playing Dead, Wednesday, October 27th. So Playing Dead is here every Wednesday. Again, we can talk about this every single week. They're a great band. It's a great crowd. Really, really fun, cool, laid-back people. You know what's awesome about a Wednesday night is, especially being a Grateful Dead cover band, you have Grateful Dead fans of all ages, right? Unlike any other band. And what we get on Grateful Dead Night on Wednesdays is retirees, successful gentlemen who have retired and are comfortable and just want to go out on Wednesday and have a good time. And then we have kids who, work in restaurants or work, nights and might have a night off and can sleep in the morning. We have, unemployed people who don't have to work. We have all kinds of faces and people and personalities in there. But it's really shut off to the 9-to-5ers, kind of, unless you're one of those hardcore people, which we have. But that's within a certain age group, too, right? We all know that at a certain age, you just can't do it. And it's kind of asking a lot for people to come out on a Wednesday. But it's amazing stuff. So Playing Dead consists of Victor Roberts, lead guitar vocals. He originally played keys for a band called Electric Hummus. He also played with Uncle John's band in Tampa. He's a lefty. He plays his guitar upside down and backwards, so that's always fun. He's actually he sells guitars on his website, leftyguitarsonly.com. So any lefties out there, if you know any lefties, leftyguitarsonly.com. On rhythm guitar and vocals, James Harris. He looks exactly like Bob Weir. He actually toured with Darkstar in the summer of 2000. He also plays in Electric Hummus with Vic Roberts. Interesting thing about Jim Harris, he wrote a children's book called Kimo and Kilani, a Hawaiian mouse tale, which is available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble online. On keys is Mark Munzer. who celebrated a birthday a few weeks ago, made it a special night. There's always something cool going on. He was the original keyboardist and vocalist for The Knot, formerly Slipknot, not to be confused with the metal band Slipknot, which has no exclamation point, but Mark's former band Slipknot has an exclamation point. I can see why they changed it. So it used to be Slipknot or Slipknot, but they downgraded it to The Knot with no exclamation point. That was interesting because I first saw Slipknot and I'm like, nah. Because I think they wore masks, so he could have been in Slipknot. You never know. Like the metal band Slipknot. That would have been a great question to ask. I would have looked like an idiot. It's a good thing I did a little research. On bass, Dave Olson, a.k.a. Mr. Bass. He studied under Kai Eckhart of Ganj Mahal. Sweet name, Garage Mahal. Garage Mahal. Yeah. There's a lot of tough names to get through. There'll be a couple more in the future. So you'll have to bear with me on that one as well. And on drums, Brian Epstein, the youngin' of the crew, also plays in Electropolitics, who were here a few weeks ago. Really, really cool show, Electropolitics. We're going to have them back again, too. So look for them. Next Thursday, the 28th, we're looking forward to the triumphant return of Soul Monde. Sole Monde? Maybe I gotta ask them. And how do you ask a band who's already been here how you pronounce their name? That's a tough one. Anyway, Soul Monde, Thursday the 28th. Drummer Russ Lawton and organist Ray Pazowski famously of the Trey Anastasio band. So they've been through it all. Just improvisational power jazz. It's very Medeski. It just fills the room with just the organ and just heavy drums. It's like, I love power trios because as musicians, they kind of have the right to overplay because you have all this space to fill. And many power trios do it awesome. I love power trios. There's a simplicity to it, and there's also just a beauty to the way that the sounds blend. So as a jazz duo, or a power duo, it's all that much more difficult, I think, to do that, and they do it so well. The live vibe that they create is incredible. It's very, very cool. These guys have been everywhere. They played Bonnaroo. They played Austin City Limits. They've been on Saturday Night Live, Letterman, Leno, Conan O'Brien, Jimmy Fallon. They did the Beacon Jams, the 8-week residency. They've seen it all. They've done it all. They're big. Last time they were here, it was amazing. There was a total debacle. For those of you who do not know the story, we were still setting up outside, and we weren't really on the inside bar, but we made a last-minute decision to set up the inside bar. We heard early in the day that they had car trouble. They were driving from somewhere, Jersey or something, and they had car trouble on the way. And long story short, the show was originally scheduled to run 8 to 11. They didn't show up until 10:15. We did everything we could to go pick them up, to try to get a car, to bring all their equipment. They towed their van full of equipment. Their van full of equipment came in on a tow truck. They pulled everything out. Our awesome sound crew got everything up. They got the sound going. The show was going by like 10:30, and they played late, we'll say. We're only permitted to run so late here at Soundcheck Studios, and they pushed the limit, and we did not want them to stop. The energy in the building with the people who were here waiting patiently for this band. There was a small presence of people going, when is this going to start? What's going on? Can I get money back for my ticket? Very, very small. Smaller than I would expect. And just the energy created when they came and they finally played. And just the collective huge ear-to-ear grin and rosy red cheeks and bloodshot, dark, closed eyes of the whole crowd. It was amazing. It was such a really cool vibe. It was so much fun that they ended up sleeping here. Yes, Russ and Ray actually slept in our green room here at Soundcheck Studios, and I've been meaning to have an interview with them to ask them about how it was, how the accommodations were, how'd you sleep, can we do anything to improve, what can we do? So that was so much fun, and I think since we had that debacle and we got through it, that's just going to strengthen our connection with the band and just add another story to the Soundcheck lore, which, by the way, will be explained. As this progresses, we're going to have kind of a recap of everything that's happened up until now. We're going to get the guys, the owners, going to get Eric and Andrew and all the other owners and a lot of the sound guys and the people that are in and out of this place. We're going to sit them down and talk to them as well and tell the whole Soundcheck story. It's quite fascinating up until now, and it's only 3 years in the making. Lot to talk about there. So, Salmond on Thursday, the 28th. They have a new album called Mimi Digs It that's available streaming and available on soulmonde.com, SOULMONDE. Sick band, check them out. Friday, October 29th, we have the triumphant return of the Rebels, Tom Petty tribute. What can you really say about the Rebels? They're just rock and roll from the start. Accuracy in terms of sound and arrangement and how they play. It's a great crowd, and it's Tom Petty. Every song is a hit. You can't go wrong. If anybody's ever thought about a show maybe to go with their great aunt or their dad or their kids, Rebels is a cool show. I mean, the crowd might be a little rowdy. Again, it's that rock and roll, draw the line crowd. Very fun. Kind of rowdy. But just authentic rock and roll. Rebels share members with Joshua Tree, who are the premier New England U2 tribute band, who personally I'm not a huge fan of U2, but this band they don't miss a beat. You can close your eyes and picture U2 on stage. They sound exactly like the band. They do a really, really great job of just being authentic and just solidly accurate. Very, very good. And finally, on the 30th, Saturday night, we have our Crooked Coast Halloween Bash. It's going to be so much fun. Audrey and I are going to be behind the bar down here, and we have a planned costume. It's going to be a theme. It's going to be really, really cool. There'll be plenty of costumes to go around, plenty of scary and sexy people. It's Crooked Coast, so you never know what to expect. Anyone who's not familiar with Crooked Coast, they are from the Cape, the Falmouth area, I believe. I guess we would classify them as indie rock, but with reggae riffs. They do hip-hop flows, electronic arrangements, pop melodies. They're a very cool blend. It's almost like early 90s aggression with kind of early 2000s vibes. They're a really, really fun band, really cool guys. They have a new single, Hell in a Handbasket, that's streaming, available also on their website, crookedcoast.com. Good tune. They were actually, I guess, set to record in Hollywood with a famed producer before COVID, and they got the whole thing going, ready to release this huge album, and it all got sidetracked. And they're just getting back into it now, so be on the lookout for that album pretty soon. It said it was due out in the fall, so hopefully we'll see it pretty soon. This producer worked, Courtney Ballard worked with 5 Seconds of Summer, Good Charlotte, and The Used. Unfortunately, they were delayed, so we look forward to that. I think that'll about do it for today's episode, the premiere episode of Soundcheck in 20. Not quite sure if I made 20 minutes, but next time we'll have guests. Maybe I'll squeeze an interview in if I can see somebody in a minute. So thanks for listening. Check out Soundcheck Studios Pembroke.com for our full schedule. Plenty of awesome shows coming up. We have Nate Smith in Kinfolk. We have Keller Williams, and a lot of cool stuff in the works, like big bands. We have a large capacity in this place, and we're looking to fill it, and we're looking to have you here. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching, and there'll be more soon.